Hi everyone, my name is Riley Bezek and I am a current junior here at UNC. And for my innovation presentation, I am talking about secondhand sustainability and the focus on fast fashioning here. So this is just a little of my table of contents. And then, so the problem. So fast fashioning is an ethical issue that has spread exponentially throughout the world. According to a website that I was researching on, Ethical Consumer, due to super fast fashioning production, designs are generally not well stress tested before sale, and cheap synthetic fabrics are used in order to keep costs low. Much of it will end up going in a landfill after only being worn a handful of times. So this causes extreme amount of just clothing waste throughout landfills all over the world. But for this specific project, I am focusing on North Carolina and even more specifically Chapel Hill. So my audacious goal, the audacious goal is to decrease the amount of clothing waste in the Triangle area and encourage the purchase of secondhand clothing. My validated social innovation idea. So my social innovation idea is to create a clothing store in Chapel Hill called Secondhand Heels. This organization will take clothing donations and just any monetary donations in general and turn them into items that are aligned with current fashion trends. Students and other community members in the Triangle area can come up and shop here rather than funding organizations that use fast fashioning. With this, I also want to partner with the Fashion Revolution and Textile Exchange. Both of these are nonprofit organizations that focus on clothing waste and how we can reduce it as a community. So more specifically about North Carolina's clothing waste, according to a recent article that I was reading, the U.S. sends more than 11 tons of textile waste to landfills each year. Researchers have found that a significant amount of usable clothing material is being dumped in these local landfills. So most of the time we buy clothing pieces and little do we actually realize that clothing pieces that we don't wear anymore or that we give away actually end up in landfills when most of the clothing material can be repurposed and used for new material. So these are my validated metrics. We will be focusing on awareness and the spread of information and the number of people educated on the issue, and also measuring the percent decrease of clothing waste in the Chapel Hill community, or more broadly, the Triangle area. We'll also be focusing on funding. This is a nonprofit organization, but there has to be a secure and steady funding to aid in the organization's development. So we'll be measuring the amount donated to the organization, both through monetary donations and clothing donations. And then lastly is social media. So in order to get our message out there, we need to gain a following on different social media platforms in the given community. So this will focus on the number of followers and the number of shares. My value proposition is a clothing store on Franklin Street called Secondhand Heels. And Secondhand Heels will work towards decreasing clothing waste in the Triangle area. Through social media and other platforms, we will create a new community that inspires people around the area to shop secondhand clothing. This organization will have a significant impact on the climate by decreasing landfill waste. And as we all know, and we're all students here at UNC, it's very much community oriented. So I feel like having this on Franklin Street and just getting the message out there, we can really build a community through this while supporting a great cause. And then this is my system map. So it starts with the Secondhand Heels, which goes to a larger community, and this community causes awareness about the message. And then when people are aware and educated, we gain their support. And the community also goes to the purchase of secondhand clothing and donations. And if we purchase more secondhand clothes and donate our clothes to these organizations, we will significantly reduce clothing waste in landfills. And so for awareness, in order to spread the message of this issue, people within the community need to be aware and educated on the subject. Through social media and daily posts, we'll spread highlights of how big of an issue fast fashioning is and how students and other community members can still be confident in their clothing while helping a larger issue. And then the more people are exposed to the issue, the more likely they are to act against it. So social media, as we know, is very big in all communities today, social media is one of the top marketing strategies used to spread information. So we will spread our brand through different platforms, including Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all prevalent sites today. I also thought it would be important to target Greek life here at UNC. A lot of Greek life has fundraisers they do that promote different nonprofit organizations or just other things in general. So I believe teaming up with the Panhellenic organizations will further spread our message and even maybe bring in some more donations and fundraisings. Community strategy at UNC. So this project is focusing on the larger Triangle area, but more specifically Chapel Hill. College students are able to spread information quickly across the entire school. So focusing on social media and spreading awareness for this area will allow our new nonprofit to thrive. And teaming up with other on-campus organizations like the Daily Tar Heel will help spread news of our organization as well. Our nonprofit strategy. So our nonprofit strategy is to start an organization in the town of Chapel Hill that takes secondhand clothing, repurposes them, and then creates clothing items that meet current fashion trends. This store will be called Secondhand Heels. The funds by this organization will go back into the project and to nonprofit fashion organizations, including Fashion Revolution and Textile Exchange. And both of these organizations, like I mentioned before, work towards sustainable clothing production. So for my advertisement and trying to spread the news of a new store on Franklin Street, I created this little ad. It says, "Let's reduce the waste," and it says secondhand heels. And it basically lets everyone know what the main message of our new store will be. And it's to take old clothing donations and repurpose them into new and improved items. I really wanted to emphasize that these new clothing items meet current fashion trends, because I know that will drive more students and other consumers to really support the brand. And so, yeah. And at the bottom, I included that this is a nonprofit organization, and donations and profits will be donated to the Fashion Revolution and Textile Exchange, but will also be put back into the store itself. So yeah, here are my citations. And if you guys have any questions, you can please contact me. I think this was really fun to work on. It would really help decrease the amount of waste in our area in a fun way that can really build a community and inspire people with fashion.